It is my privilege to invite to the podium to address this audience, Mr. Ryan Bechu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. It surprised me, too, to bat this high up in the order. It's unfamiliar territory. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Attorney at Law, and also Chairman of the TNT Cricket Board, Mr. Henry Chase, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, and my longtime friend, Mr. Azim Bassarat, Mr. Altaf Baksh, who is here as well, General Secretary of the TNT Cricket Board, to all of the players here this afternoon, thank you very much for the opportunity to address Premiership 2 award ceremony. In the story of cricket, Chapter 1 will always be club cricket. The best international careers, almost every one of them, started and was built on club cricket. And so we enter this very challenging era of cricket now, where club cricket lives in the shadow of franchise cricket. And so I wanted to speak tonight not so much about the club cricketers who are here and their opportunity, the enormous opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board and by extension Cricket West Indies gives cricketers around the region and here in Trinidad and Tobago the opportunity, the best possible opportunity to represent their country and the region, because that is well known. Everybody in here knows if you work hard enough, you get the results on the field, the selectors will recognize you, you will go on to play for your country, you keep working hard enough, you can go on to play for the West Indies. But what I think is we're losing as a cricket community and as a cricketing country is club cricket. I know it's a very damning statement to make given that you guys are involved in the club community system every single day. But club cricket faces enormous challenges from franchise cricket. A few of you here have already played for franchises. So the lure of lucrative contracts from franchise cricket is there. And that lure of a lucrative franchise contract is not bad. But club cricket has a main purpose in our society and in our country. And that's what I want to touch on today, building my speech on the theme of one word, resurgence. Resurgence at the club level, resurgence at the community level, and resurgence at the country level. Because each one has a ripple effect on the next. And club cricket has a very important role in our society. It had an important role when many of us were growing up, and it has an important, even more important role today. It was club cricket that brought so many communities across Trinidad and Tobago together on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday evening to watch their team play in the savannah, in the park, at a recreation ground. It is on that we today complain as a society that many of our communities are dismantled, individualized, that our communities no longer come together. Everyone lives in their own homes. This is the challenge for our club in every community, whether you are in Caldrock, whether you're in Cane Farm, whether you're at Queen's Park. Our clubs have a greater mandate than just cricket. Given the societal challenges that we face in Trinidad and Tobago, we can no longer, as a cricketing fraternity, having one of the most important and popular sports before us, being involved in it, as all of you are, we can no longer ignore the societal challenges that are happening in our community as a cricket club. And just say, it's not enough to just say that our job is cricket. Cricket has and always will be bigger than that. And it's so ironic to speak, and the backdrop of this speech is the wonderful Brian Lara Cricket Academy, where Southern Sports is hosting a tournament, a community tournament. And we could hear out in the distance, these horns. We as clubs, we as the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, have to find a way to reinvigorate interest at the community level, bring people back to grounds, so in turn we can help with the challenges our communities are facing. That will have a ripple effect on our country. Just last week, we were talking in a conversation about what cricket used to be. And everybody was talking about when Guaracara Park was filled to capacity, they had to stop people from entering Guaracara Park. The firefighters said, no, no more. People would jump the walls to get into Guaracara Park when Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados were playing, when Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana were playing. People would jump the walls to get in because the firefighters said no more spectators. People reflect and drool over what cricket at a national level, especially the interest it invigorated among spectators, used to be. And we hold that up against the current generation and we say, you will never have this. Because when you go to the Oval, you're going to have 5 people and a dog. That's not good enough. Cricket is bigger than that. It's not good enough for me to tell young people today that I was at Guaracara Park to watch Brian Lara score 100 against Guyana. And in the same game, Ramnaraj Sawan scored 100. And in the same game, Shivnarayan Chandapol scored 100. And hold it up as a trophy that I'm showing to a generation that may never be able to see that. We as a cricketing community have to find a way to reinvigorate interest in the sport so that Brian Lara Cricket Academy is filled, so that the Queen's Park Oval is filled. Look at what happened here a few weeks ago. 17,000 plus people rammed into this stadium to watch a cricket game, a record crowd for this season, 17,000 plus people. If we have to model the franchise model for the club level, then we have to find a way to successfully do it. But to say that franchise cricket is going to overtake club cricket's importance is simply not good enough for these guys in this room. When we're able to reinvigorate that interest at a country level and have more crowds come to our games, to have people more interested in our cricket again. And it's not just the regional 4-day tournament. It's not just the Super 50. It's at every level nationally. I remember when Brian Charles used to play under 17 in Tobago. They used to host the regional under 17 tournament. That's where he started. That's the levels we need to get at. And then there is the West Indies level. If I go around the room and I ask everybody individually in this room, how do we fix West Indies cricket? Everybody will have a different opinion. And everybody will think that their opinion is the right opinion. the resurgence of West Indies cricket cannot be at the West Indies level. It simply cannot be. Because then we're asking the West Indies coaches to do what the club coaches ought to have been doing. That's why club level cricket is so important. And that's why it's so important that we get our club cricket right. If we all want a resurgence of West Indies cricket in this room, then you are all in the right room. Because this is where the resurgence of West Indies cricket has to start. There is no way it could start at the West Indies level. There is even a fewer ways that it could start at the Trinidad and Tobago national team level, or Barbados, or Windward Islands, or Leeward Islands, or Guyana, or Barbados, or Jamaica. Somehow we seem to have lost ourselves in this franchise model since about 2007, 2008. And I'm here to tell everyone that club cricket has a very important role to play in our society, in our structure, in our system. And it's more than just about making the West Indies team. It's about resurging interest within our communities. It's about bringing this country together one more time, again and again, for something that we all commonly love. We may disagree on the English Premier League teams that we follow. Some may say Chelsea, some may say Manchester United, but we all agree that we want Trinidad and Tobago cricket to move forward. That can be translated to the West Indies team. And so this afternoon, my call is for us to remember how important club cricket, in the face of the challenges and the mountainous task of facing franchise cricket in this era is, club cricket remains a very critical tool in rebuilding our communities, the same communities we complain have broken apart, the country we all complain about, and the West Indies cricket team we all would love to see win, but continues to struggle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me as your guest speaker. I too played within the Reserve League at W Connection Wanderers, and some may argue that I should have stayed there. But I do appreciate having the opportunity to talk to a room full of very important cricketing people, and the attorney at law is right. The Reserve League is absolutely critical, not just to feed the senior men's teams at these competitions, but to keep our young boys and girls active. Because if only 11 people could play at the senior men's level, what happens to the people that can't make it? We have to keep them busy too. And so I applaud the TTCB, led by its president, on the new initiative that will be rolled out in the next few weeks, and I look forward to seeing it. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for being able to address you this evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ryan Bechu. Resurgence, societal challenge, reinvigorate, and the importance of cricket at the community level and at the club level. Your words are very apt and relevant. I'll now invite the president of the TTCB to present Mr. Ryan Bechu with a token of our appreciation.